I'm sure you ladies will figure out something to do with cowboy boots that will make the
Oh, we will. You know, we're going to have pink and purple cowboy boots. It's happening. I don't even care. Shut the face. Shut the face.
I hadn't even considered it until now.
I had. I've already been looking them up. I sent you pictures of them.
Oh, that's right.
Hi, friends.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And today we have a powerhouse for you. We have Aaron Sheeks, CEO of PureCars, and we are so excited to welcome him on stage.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Well, how are you today?
I'm great. And look, the fact that both of you are inside of that same square is massively impressive.
Listen, we're like on top of each other.
Thank you for letting me use my own square for the podcast. It's really good to see you.
Yes,
we would try to fit you in here, but it would be a tight squeeze.
It's a tight squeeze. Well, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for asking me to be on. And take it away. This is something I'm looking forward to, and I know I'll see you guys soon in Jersey. Yes. And I think that's why we're here, right?
Yeah. So, Aaron, I know the majority of the industry knows who you are, of course, but for those that don't, tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got into the automotive industry, and what you're doing right now.
That's a loaded question. Let's see if I can answer it in less than 30 seconds. Hi, my name's Aaron. I am the CEO of PureCars. I'm the co-founder of the Auto Miner, and I've been in automotive for, 12 or 13 years, significantly less than a lot of folks that you may hear in the business. So I am a new timer, so to speak. I got here. I used to be a formal naval officer, and I flew in P-3s and tracked submarines and did lots of fun stuff. So my life and my world is behind me. I have 4 daughters, so I am a girl dad, including identical twins that are 4.
Whoa.
So if I look tired, you know why. I think that's probably it. Regular old dude that built some cool stuff. And now here we are doing fun things, helping shape the customer experience and the journey of how auto dealers deliver their product to consumers across the country is my jam. It's good to be here.
I love that. And I love that you are so humble to say that, you haven't been in the industry for as long as some of the other guys. However, you have built one of the largest advertising companies for Tier 3 automotive in the automotive industry. And I think that's huge for someone with 10 to 12 years in auto to already be where you're at, Aaron. I think that's really amazing.
Well, thanks. To be fair, I cheated. PureCars has been around for a long time, and PureCars is an incredible, amazing company full of a lot of smart folks that were involved in PureCars prior to me being here. I'm just really fortunate that I got to sell my product, the Auto Miner, to PureCars in the acquisition January 2023, and then I've since become the CEO and managing the company there. But it's a really fun journey, and I think someday I'll release the book that's the fun stages of being a founder and all of the cool stuff. But right now, it's a really fun job being the CEO of PureCars and just driving the ship at what could be the most impactful time in technology and really automotive that we've seen in the last 20 years. We're right in the middle of it right now. And it's fun to be in, tip of the spear is what I always say. We're on the tip of the spear building fun stuff for our dealers.
So out of curiosity, I want to step back just a second. The transition from military to automotive sometimes makes sense to a lot of people because it's hard work, it's perseverance, it's pushing yourself every day where sometimes you don't want to. For you, what did that journey look like making that transition?
It's a good question. I shape it usually in 2 ways. Military folks are usually good in the car business for one of 2 reasons. They've really good at being told what to do and following directions. So inside of a dealership, if you just follow directions and do what you're supposed to do, you'll be successful because our operators know what success looks like. Right. Here's the plan. But the second part, and the reason that I attribute maybe my success in the business is the military and guys and gals that suited up, it's massively stressful. So being able to handle massively stressful situations and solve problems inside of that environment while not letting your train run off the tracks in life is a skill set that you learn at a very young age when you put on the uniform. And if you've been in the car business for longer than 20 minutes, you'll know that it's massively stressful, ever evolving, and you have to balance work-life balance to be able to keep your train train on the tracks. So there's a lot of similarities in how people are wired to be successful, from wearing the uniform to being in the car business. And I think we're lucky to have those folks join us.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Did you start immediately in a dealership after leaving the military, or did you start creating the Autominer?
No. So here, I'll give you the short version. So Navy sent me back to college in my late 20s. I was going through flight school and doing through all of the things that was doing what I was doing. And at the end of that journey, we were overmanned Navy pilots, and they said, who wants to take, a package to go into the reserves? I was singing and playing guitar in bars, and just like I was living life, living a different way. And as the story goes, Mr. Brad Title, the founder of Goobagoo, introduced me through friends of a friends. I met him there, and I quit flying planes, and I started selling live chat the next day, or 2 days later. And I just threw caution to the wind, and I was lucky enough to be in the first handful of employees at Goobagoo, help sell thousands of stores that are on that platform there. And that was how my journey took off. To be fair, I was never supposed to be here. I was supposed to be in Taiwan flying airplanes.
Supposed to be in Taiwan. Wow. That we hear all the time. It makes us laugh. Everybody says I wasn't supposed to be here, or I accidentally ended up here, or one day I woke up and here I was.
It's never
here I was. And I won't leave. I won't leave.
No. And I think that's kind of the common consensus with a lot of us that are really in the industry. I know that we have a lot of turnover in sales, but I mean, the people that are really involved in the industry that really see how much amazing things are going on right now within it, they don't want to leave. They have no desire to leave. I mean, sorry, automotive, but you're stuck with us, like it or not.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the right kind of crazy for me. So I'm here for it.
So you're going to be speaking at By Appointment Only in New Jersey on August 6th. Mm-hmm. Hence why we're talking to you right now. I mean, by the way, oh yeah, I'll be there too. You'll be there too. So we're gonna be seeing you there. You're gonna be speaking. I know the last one that we had in February, you weren't at, so I'm really glad you're gonna be at this one, and I'm really honored to hear you speak. Tell us a little bit about what you're gonna be talking about, and what you and PureCars has to do with BDC.
Yeah.
Well, I think great question. The title, let me read it off the slide over. It's Right Message, Right Time, Right Appointment. And if you've listened to me talk about the Autominer at any point in time in the last 4 years, we were built and born inside of a BDC, inside of a dealership. My partners were dealers. They're really good operator dealers. So the foundation of the Autominer and the tool it was built on was Chris Martinez's brainchild of going from 100 cars to 1,200 cars inside of the same BDC. So I think we were built in a BDC. I would arguably say that my tool does more functions of BDC functions than it does even of marketing or advertising functions. So it's really is a great fit. And I think shame on me for having to go run a big company and not getting out and being involved in the other events earlier in the year. I'm a process guy. So I'm looking forward to being in Jersey because I'm a salesperson that happens to sit in the CEO chair. I drive business development through activity, through follow-up, through the right cadences, with the right message at the right time to get the right appointment, so to speak, if we go back to that title. So I think I'll land my plane with I'm speaking, and it's been a while, so I'm excited to see a lot of my friends, including both of you and Dan Moore and others that are going to be there. So I'm excited to be there for the great event. And obviously Robin is like my all-time fave in the biz. So I'm excited to give hugs and see folks. But I'm going to talk about why clean data matters. I'm going to talk about how data inside of your BDC process is important, how I know that you're reaching out, that half of all of your activities are going out with the wrong message, unless you're doing some basic fundamentals inside of what that looks like. And obviously I'll teach a little bit why clean data matters inside of different channels and the limitations of the technology that does that today. I'm a real life super nerd in behind my glasses, so to speak. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Yeah, I got them fixed, so it's not there anymore. I think, and then the last thing, and everybody wants to talk about it, and I just now started maybe mentioning it out loud, is that there is a really phenomenal AI project that exists inside of the Autominer and PureCars today. It has been running in stealth on lots of stores in silence in a bunch of different ways. And now I'm excited to maybe make a little noise with it. So people know that I've been known to make a little bit of noise. I'm I'm going to be a little reserved on this call, but I think in the back half of the year, you're going to see PureCars and our tech stack continue to evolve to continue helping my operators do more inside of BDCs and get in front of the right customer to really drive revenue, but decrease expenses inside of their dealerships as well. It's a tough market right now. We have to increase revenue and decrease expenses everywhere. That's kind of my thing. So I'll be talking about that in New Jersey on August 6th, not the 5th.
Right, not the 5th.
Not the 5th.
Well, I mean, we'll all be together on the 5th for the cocktail party.
There's a cocktail party on the 5th.
Yeah, which we're very
indeed, which will be fun. Which will be fun too. So hopefully we see some of our guests there if they're joining us in New Jersey.
Absolutely.
So AI is a hot topic right now, has been for at least the past 6, 8, 12 months now, since really ChatGPT kind of broke everybody and was like, oh my God, where is this? Why haven't we been using it? What led you to the decision of building ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, but building AI into the auto miner and using it with what you do at PureCars?
I'm going to give you two answers. The CEO answer is, if you're not doing AI in your business today, you're 10 years behind. So shame on me if I'm a tech company building tech and I'm not building technology, right? So I think shame on me if that's where I'm at. But largely the customer needs it. For what I just said, we have to be able to increase revenue. We have to increase opportunities, the right opportunities, because human beings in our dealership are still really expensive, and floor plans are really expensive, and the auction is really expensive. So if I, as an operator of the business, if my name is hanging on the sign, I have to be able to increase revenue and decrease expenses, and I have to give my folks the ability to do that and still take care of my customer. So that's the interesting part. And I'll come back to customer is the only thing that matters. So if we can't take care of the customer while increasing revenue, well, that's not going to matter. If I can't take care of the customer while decreasing expenses, then it's still not going to matter. So my whole focus is, how do we do both? How do we put the customer first? How do we serve the customer in the best way? Talk to them at the right way at the right time. And then what does that look like inside of our marketing tech stack or inside of our business revenue ecosystem as a whole to get more for less, leveraging technology?
How long have you been working on the AI?
Years is the real answer. It's fast, it's evolving. I think a lot of folks were willing to jump on ChatGPT and put it in front of their product really quickly. I was less excited to put an unknown open AI platform inside of my product so fast. So I've been building and working with the right smart people. I'm not the smartest person in the room of building these things, thankfully. I just get to talk about it in smart ways. So I think my team has been working on this for years. We've been talking about how to help dealers with this for years. And for me, AI isn't a buzzword. It's not a product. It's not a package. It's the success of my tech stack over a long term, planning years in my business, not minutes in my business. So I think that's the disconnect, or the difference of how I've approached it versus others, where I think it's super fun and exciting and the app's on my phone, but I'm not putting it in my business until I know it's the best thing for my partners.
Yep. That makes sense. And it's really innovative to think that way.
It's safe to think that way too. I run a clean data platform where I house privacy information, so I have to be a little bit more risk adverse than I think a lot of folks can be with ChatGPT. I am a huge fan of ChatGPT and 4.0 and BART and all the things, but there's a right way to use it in business, and then there's the flashy way to use it in business. I wanted to do the right way first, and then the flashy way second. And I think some folks have done it that way, and some folks said, this is really new and exciting. I want it to be new and exciting today, where I want it to be new and exciting in a process for a long time. And I'll talk about that in New Jersey on the 6th, of how we dip our toe in the water and we stair step into process, and we do it gradually versus, ripping the carpet or out from underneath us.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're going into this event directly tailored to BDC managers, BDC reps, internet sales managers, anybody trying to figure out, what can I do with my internet and phone traffic to be better than, my dealership down the street? And a lot of them are wondering, what is AI going to do to my job? Is AI going to take my job? Is AI going to enhance my job? How do I learn to work along somebody that I will never see in person? So what do you think is the most important role of AI when it comes to BDC or handling internet traffic?
I'll unpack it. Yes, AI is one to take your job. But that's only if you don't embrace it and learn how to manage AI or to use it in your job. So you have two choices. You can either embrace it, manage it, learn it, and figure out how to do more and less in your day inside your job. If I was an internet manager, I would own leveraging AI and increasing productivity. But I also think if you're not going to do that inside your dealership, frankly, someone else will, or I'll sell something into your store that will take your job. That's my job to build. So I think if you're in that role inside of a dealership, you embrace it, leverage it, and be the expert inside of your store of how we're leveraging it to increase revenue, how we're using it to shape customer experience. Like, prove you're the expert, adapt and embrace the opportunities with it. That doesn't have to be all at once. Maybe that's just a little piece here, a little piece there. But I think if you ignore it, it will consume you in the next 3 years in our business.
Absolutely.
100%. So I don't want this to be like a super salesy type of show in regards to what you do, but I'm really passionate about what you do. Especially where you started out with the Auto Miner and what that's doing for dealerships. Anybody who doesn't know what Auto Miner does or why you created Auto Miner, can you touch specifically on that for a minute?
It's really simple. If I'm sitting in a BDC today, if I'm sitting in what used to be Charles Mon Toyota, now it's North Toyota in Austin North, it's a Group 1 store. If I'm sitting in one of those stores today, any store in the country, I know without a doubt I have to generate activity. I have to create appointments. I get paid on the number of appointments I create that convert and that sell. And if that's my job and those are the KPIs that are directly impacted to my paycheck to support my family, I want to be the most impactful and effective with my time. And I want to use the tools and resources to be able to do that. So a smart person sitting in your chair said, hold on, I'm spending all of this money in Google. It's this way if I'm talking in the camera. I'm spending all of this money in Google. I'm spending all of this money in Facebook. And I'm talking to my folks with offers and inventory ads and all the things that we do. But I'm not emailing them the same message. When I call them, I'm not calling them with the same offer. I'm calling about something else. And I'm not text messaging them about what I can do for them to help their family financial situation or their automotive needs. I'm talking about myself and not talking about my customer. And if I want to sell anything, I'll be more successful talking about my customer than talking about myself. So he says, hold on, I want to take programmatic media and I want to pair it with my operational media inside my BDC so that when I reach out to Jess, whether it's on Google, on Facebook, or an email, that it looks and sounds like me, that it represents my dealership, that it represents how we handle customer experience in our dealership. So the Auto Miner's idea, not a new problem, been doing it for 30 years and plus in the automotive. It used to be a black box, it used to be a Rolodex, a Stuker box, if anybody's old and remembers any of those things in the automotive world. It's not a new concept. It's customer experience and lifetime follow-up when your customer needs it and how you can best serve their automotive needs. I just have a software tool that does that better than your Rolodex does. Is that what you're looking for?
That was a pretty good answer. I mean, I don't know that you could have answered that better, honestly.
I probably could have done it in less words today.
I wasn't counting. It's okay.
So PureCars is kind of a hub for many different things that you guys offer. Can you break it down? What all PureCars does offer to dealers and what solutions they provide?
Yeah, this is exciting. PureCars is in 2,400 or so car dealerships across the country. So we primarily live in, I'll say, 3 buckets. There is the PureCars digital advertising. I talk with my left hand. Let's move it over here. There is PureCars digital advertising, and I think we're in 18 OEM programs across North America, US and Canada, doing Google, Facebook, Amazon, all of your programmatic needs. That's what we do at PureCars. Now, inside of that, PureCars is an aggregator, so to speak, a consolidator of technology. And I think being the Auto Miner and selling that to PureCars, the greatest decision ever to be here and to put those companies together for the sake of our customer. So we have the Auto Miner. We have another great company called True Payments that does desking deals and the right payments to customers that could be interacting with our folks there, a fintech product. We have our creative products that we leverage. So there's a lot of what could be companies or products inside of the PureCars umbrella today that are really significant big pieces in automotive. I'm just grateful that I have group of smart, talented people to manage all of the moving pieces so that I can be here with you all.
You do. You have an amazing team.
I have more smart people than I know what to do with. I think it's a luxury that most people would like to have. I don't take it for granted.
We got to meet some of your wonderful folks at Women in Automotive, some faces we'd never seen before, and reconnect with others. And oh my God, you have the best team. You really do.
You do.
I've been, I'll toot my own horn in Women in Automotive just a teeny little bit. I have been a Women in Automotive supporter since Lisa Copeland was like redesigning the logo with V and everybody else way back in the day. I believe in empowered, like I like that organization and the message and the people and everything about it. So this was the first time I didn't go myself because I thought it would be impactful to empower the amazing ladies of PureCars to go on in my stead. So instead we did t-shirts. Yeah. So like I'm happy to represent and be there, but we have so many smart, talented women in automotive in PureCars. I want to enable all of them to go and, they got to enjoy your guy. Yeah. You guys got to enjoy California. I think the next one is a little easier to get to. So I think we're sending a bigger up to the
Nashville.
The Nashville one?
A little bit. Most of our folks are on the East Coast, so a little bit easier to get to. Yeah, I'm excited about Nashville. It'll be a good turnout. I'm sure you ladies will figure out something to do with cowboy boots that will make them.
Oh, we will. We're going to have pink and purple cowboy boots. It's happening. I don't even care. Shut the face. Shut the face.
I hadn't even considered it until now.
I had. I've already been looking them up. I sent you pictures of them.
Oh, that's right. God, dang it.
The branding that you can do in Nashville.
I have never worn cowboy boots in my life.
And cowgirl boots, and she's about to because I grew up in cowgirl boots, so she's gonna put on some cowgirl boots. She'll be just fine.
Erin, if I have to wear them
on a bull, I might even get her on like one of those mechanical bulls.
If I have to wear them and you come, you're wearing them too.
I don't pink and purple cowboy boots. They don't go with my black t-shirt all that well. But I have
brown boots.
I own some cowboy boots. Your boy does live out in the woods. He is well versed in cowboy boots. So I'll see you in Nashville.
I heard about, and I don't know if he owns them or if he has a friend that has them. Scott Trainer at one of the conferences I saw him at showed me alligator skin boots.
Look, if you get down into cowboy boots, you're gonna realize that it's not an accessory, it's a lifestyle. So boots in themselves can be magnificently fancy, and Scott knows how to pick out things with great taste. I have no doubt they were great.
Got his shoes for sure. Love it.
I have a question back for you if I'm going to be on a podcast. And since I've never done your podcast before, and I've done all of the podcasts, I have to ask you the question back. What's the number one goal of your podcast? And how can I make sure that I deliver on the number one goal of your podcast by being a guest?
So I'll tell you, we started this podcast. It was really Fred and Lou that encouraged us to do it. But when we did it, the goal was because our realm is social media marketing and BDC. And when we go to these conferences, rarely do we ever see anybody from the BDC or really even BDMs at these conferences. So we're like, well, if they took all of this, and if it wasn't for Robin sending us to these conferences, we wouldn't get to meet people like you, like Fred and Lou, like Jonathan Dawson, all of these amazing people that are in this industry. We wouldn't have these connections if it wasn't for Robin. And so we realized that not every store sends their managers to these conferences, and most stores don't send their BDMs. When if we look at what's out there, the BDMs can truly use the information being provided, sometimes the most. And so we needed a platform where we could introduce our people and our connections to other people in the dealerships that don't get to go to these conferences. And we give them an outlet to reach out to those people and pick their brains and have some mentors in the industry like we have been so blessed to have because we have a CEO like Robin.
Well, and your net worth.
Absolutely.
And where I stem in this, my personal story was that when I started off running this BDC, because it was outsourced and at the time was looked at as competition to any BDC that existed, nobody would help us. Like nobody would help with anything. I would ask, simple questions like, hey, how do I build out this process in the CRM? And ghost crickets. And so We want people to connect with other good people that will help them. If you have a question come up and you need help, here's our plethora of people that we have that we can connect you with.
I
And
love it.
We're pretty picky about who comes on the show too, because we do know that we have dealers watching this, and we do want to make sure that we're connecting the dealers to the right vendors. We don't want to bring somebody on the show that doesn't operate with integrity. You know, we want to make sure that the people that we're connecting people to are good people through and through all the time.
I love it. Hopefully I'm the right guest to get that message across. I'll
that
leave
you're the guest.
We know you are.
Well, hopefully here's one piece of advice. Like, I have watched you guys come up through social over the last several years, right? So knowing that I sit in a big chair now, but 4 years ago I did not. If I am in a BDC, if I'm sitting in a store and I'm watching the talking heads, that's what I call them lovingly on LinkedIn. I am one, so I can be one. The talking heads on LinkedIn, including me. Or I'm watching the social media presence of the branding of the players inside of the automotive world today. There's a joke that we're auto famous, right? Like there's 5,000 people paying attention in the entire country. We all know each other. We're auto famous.
Yeah.
So I think if you have access to people today that you did not have access to 10 years ago, you have access to people today you didn't have access to 4 years ago. And the fact that I'm here on this podcast today proves that being connected in social media, branding yourself, will impact people's lives and therefore how you can impact their business in a bigger way than by churning and burning on your CRM process. That's table stakes. You got to do those things. You have to overachieve. But you have access to resources now that is like, hey, that person runs $100 million company and they'll reply to you on Facebook Messenger, or hey, this person just sold their company for whatever there was, and they'll respond to you on LinkedIn. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So we collaborate at the top much more than we do in the middle. I love your podcast because you're collaborating with where the rubber meets the road. You're helping people that are actually doing the job, not the people like me talking about people doing the job. So as a doer, I'll land my plane with as a self-proclaimed doer of things, not talking about doing of things. If you're in a store and like overachieve, do the jobs that other people don't want to do, help your operator increase revenue or decrease expenses, whether that's by overachieving or being smarter than others inside of your store, and then reach out for help, bring in the network, like make yourself accessible to people that you don't think that you should make yourself accessible for or unworthy to do so, which I'll leave you this. I just hired a young man who reached out to me on Facebook, and he's super smart. He's way smarter than me. And he said, hey, I've been following your story and I love the AutoMiner product and I'm doing this with these stores. And I know that I could help your company. Would you be willing to look at my resume? And he's been following me for 4 years, liking my Facebook post. So I know exactly who he was.
That's awesome.
And we gave him a job and he's fantastic. And he came in and he impacted my business on the very first day of working here. Went from a BDC into our business and immediately made an impact. And it's like in the world today, that would not have happened if I wouldn't have been posting on Facebook 5 times a week. Wouldn't have been connecting with folks like you, right? So I think thank you for doing this platform. I think there's a lot of folks in the country that will benefit from it. Thanks for letting talking heads like me join every once in a while to yammer on a bit.
Hey, we love having the talking heads, especially you.
We do, absolutely. And we appreciate you taking your time to chat with us today because we do know that you're also very, very busy. So where could people reach out to you if they wanted to connect with you further, have a conversation, whatever the case may be, where can they reach you?
I'm pretty easy. As Dean Sanders says, I'm not too hard to find. You can find me at PureCars.com, at theautominer.com, at LinkedIn. My name is below here. Check me out anywhere. I'm one of those crazy people that if you add me on social media, I'll probably accept it and I'll probably write you back. And you may even be surprised how fast it happens. Customer service is my jam. So yeah, I'm not all that hard to find. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, send me a message. If I can be a resource, my door is open to you, or I'll connect you with folks that maybe can help you if I can't. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much, Aaron. In a world where you can be anything, be kind because you never know what battles others are facing. So whenever you go out into the world this week, remember to light it up. I'm Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And that's Aaron. And we've been the Chicks in Charge. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Yay, you've made it this far. And if you want to help the chicks out and add some value, make sure you subscribe right now.
Click that little red button down below. Do it. Do
Right
it now.